Hi, so let's talk about the energy effects of Mercury retrograde. A lot of us have heard about Mercury retrograde, even if we don't know exactly what it is or what it does. So basically, probably a few times in every year, the planet Mercury appears to be moving backwards, and that's why they call it a retrograde. And Mercury, metaphysically, is all about communication. So when it's going backwards, it's like all communications are going backwards. So that's why it's really common to go through miscommunications during a Mercury retrograde. So that can be either technological, so with lots of computer glitches, technology breaking down, cars breaking down, appliances, especially on computers, but you name it, any kind of communication through devices. Okay, so not just breakdowns of the technology or glitches, but also miscommunication, as in people having spats over Facebook or whatever. Miscommunication physically in relationships too. So not seeing eye to eye, not understanding each other, and just, it's like a cloud or an illusion, kind of like a haze over things, okay? And things just feel like they're moving backwards, okay? So Mercury retrograde is known by, to be quite frustrating, because not only are there all these sort of issues of communication not working in our favor, but also it can affect things like travel. So it's definitely not a good idea to travel during a Mercury retrograde, and just generally, like, there can be a lot of chaos, like timetable clashes and accidental people forgetting appointments or mixed up appointments, or again, that's all to do with communication, like malfunctioning. So a Mercury retrograde usually lasts 3 weeks, but you can actually feel it 2 weeks leading up to it as well, which they sort of call the pre-shadow phase. So you can feel it sort of coming and starting to affect you. When you go through a Mercury retrograde, this is when you just want to wind things up in your life. You want to get things finished. So don't leave anything hanging. You really want to get down to the bottom of things. You really want to finish off, so any incomplete projects, anything that's being left hanging. But it's not a good idea during this time to start something new or sign a new contract or anything like that. It's about finishing off things, okay, before you start again. So do watch during this time for any kind of error as well. I mentioned the glitches, but just mistakes, making a mistake or something like that. And also, after the Mercury retrograde, it can leave a bit of an aftermath for a couple of weeks after the phase as well. So even though it's supposed to be for, say, 3 weeks, you can add another 4 weeks to it, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. So that's, I'm just doing my math. That's 7 weeks of, some quite interesting events possibly happening around you in your personal life, and also possibly globally too. But, don't worry about it. It's not like it's like, oh my God, So one thing to know about any kind of cosmic energy influence is not to get too caught up in it. Don't get all wound up, and don't be just all doom and gloom. And you'll bring more of it on if you get into that mindset, okay? So just ride through it, get things done, and don't make any major decisions, okay? So stick to deadlines. Don't start anything new, as I said before, and just take the time to look through details, check over things, okay? So that can actually be a really good thing. So let's turn it around and think, what could be positive about Mercury retrograde? It's getting things done. It's checking through things to make sure that everything's okay. So dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. Seeing if there's anything that needs to be organized or repaired or gone over, or even just re-evaluated, okay, or reviewed. So re is actually a very good prefix. so the beginning of a word, to really explain what Mercury retrograde can offer you as a benefit. So re as a prefix means again, so doing something again. So redoing, reviewing, and a lot of RE words can actually work in your favor during a Mercury retrograde. So it can even come down to relaxing, redecorating, just revitalizing, okay, recovering, and also reconnecting. So when we talk about reconnecting, during this time you might receive another RE word, revelations, okay? So there are spiritual benefits to everything. There's a positive side to everything. So you can take time to relax and recover and rejuvenate, and to just slow down and breathe, become observant, and see, are there any revelations or epiphanies there for you? What information can you gain from the spirit world, or what can you learn from things? So a few tips just to sign off during a Mercury retrograde period is to, again, don't sign anything during this time if you can help it. Don't start anything new. Read all the small print of things very carefully. Triple check information, okay? Tidy up any loose ends and finish things off. And technology wise, it's a great idea to back up your computer well before the Mercury retrograde even begins. Okay, so just do that in advance so that you can feel safe and secure. Okay, and what else? Be prepared for any last minute changes to your schedule or to travel plans, things like that. And during this time too, it's quite common to get in touch with someone from the past, because it's all about this communication. Okay, so see if anyone from your past, or just take note of who pops up in your life. Okay, take the time to revamp and redo and review and re-examine and just finish anything old or pending. So yep, take care of anything that's pending. Research, just know that anything could go awry or happen, so take it easy, and remember that you can override these energies and utilize them for your own benefit. So we can have gratitude and say, thank you, Mercury retrograde, for the gifts that you bring. Okay, and if you'd like to know when a Mercury retrograde is happening during any month or year, I have that information on my website, on my article about Mercury retrograde. The link's below this video. And I have many other articles about other cosmic influences, okay, such as eclipses and moon energy, as well as lots of spiritual topics as well. Okay,